four-letter word they don't use in Paeroa, and that word is rain, R-A-I-N. Hi folks, and welcome to our coverage of the 2008 Yamaha Battle of the Streets. And can you believe it, for the last 17 years now, it hasn't rained here at Paeroa. It's raining all around, but it's brilliant sunshine here. We've got the heavy hitters here, we've got all the classes covered. It's going to be a fantastic day. All the people are slapping on their sunscreen and getting excited. It's time for you to do it too, as you enjoy our coverage of the 2008 Yamaha Battle of the Streets from the streets of Paeroa.
I was kind of hoping it might have been about 20 degrees, but it looks more like it's going to be 30 something again, so that makes it hard. The last racetrack we were on was down at Teretonga in Invercargill, which is very, very fast and flowing, and you sort of come here and you feel like you're going so goddamn slow, but yeah, it's just the nature of the beast. I think you got to be a little bit careful for sure, but still sort of trying fairly hard without going too slow.
Over the humps here, you've got to really get your weight over the front to stop the thing from wheel standing. But you know, that's all the fun of riding a superbike, and I wouldn't sort of want it any other way.
There is only really one or two lines, and you have to be a little bit careful on the street circuits, because you can't be too pushy. You know, getting out the front certainly makes the job easier.
We've set ours up pretty softly, obviously, just to sort of soak up as much as we can. But there are some pretty harsh bumps down the back straight, especially going through the kick. And on the Kawasaki, the bike's sort of settling on the rear as you're going through there, still on power, so the old front gives a good head shake, which is a bit unsettling at times, but yeah, just as you go through it, so yeah, it's not too bad.
Coming somewhere like this is completely different, but it's a standalone round, so we can have some fun and relax a little bit more. But it's still a race, you know. You still wind up and you get the nerves before you go out there, and you still want to win.
So the streets of Paeroa packed with thousands upon thousands of people, and as you heard, another beautiful sunny day here as we focus in on this man. He was the hero of Wanganui at the cemetery circuit. This is Craig Sheriff from Fielding on the Suzuki. He's got a bit of competition here today though. He's got a couple of hot Australians in Damien Cudlin and also Gareth Jones. So this is Formula Paeroa, brought to you by Yamaha Motorcycles. Watch for number 56, that's Craig Sheriff. He's starting on the left-hand side of your screen, number 7. That is young Hayden Fitzgerald on the Castrol Honda. He's got a good start, but the best of the starts goes to number G, and that's Gareth Jones from Australia on the Brian Bernard Sangyong Pirelli Shod Yamaha. He'll go into the first turn in front. In second place, it's Hayden Fitzgerald on the Castrol Honda. Now you're watching from a camera on Hayden's helmet. You can see as they go into the Suzuki S's for the first time, picks up a little bit of ground on the inside, and in the inside goes Craig Sheriff. So Sheriff's moved through into second place. He didn't get the very best of starts on the Haldane Suzuki, but he's now into second place as they go down this very, very bumpy back straight into the Woolworths turn, and now setting up for the Pirelli hairpin. So it's Gareth Jones in the front, Sheriff's in second place, then it is the Castrol Honda, and that is Hayden Fitzgerald. Remember, he's carrying our camera. 75 is David Lees just in behind on another Suzuki, and behind him it is Damien Cudlin on the second of the Bernard Yamahas. Then it's the first of the Kawasaki's, and that is Kerry Breyer. Into the Father's Tavern turn once again, G. Gareth Jones, first time he has seen the circuit here at Paeroa. This is number 70, this is Jason Veach on the Veach and McIver Super Duke KTM. Now he's further back in the field as we go back to this enthralling battle at the front. Through the Suzuki S turn they come again. And Sheriff's just getting a little bit closer now. Now watch the attitude of the bikes on this very, very bumpy back straight. A lot of people have been talking about this. It really has been affecting the handling and the setup of the suspensions on these bikes. I know that Rob Taylor from Olin's has been working overtime to get the perfect setup for both of the bikes in the front of the picture. And you see there as Gareth Jones nearly tips it over as he's coming out of the Pirelli hairpin, but he stays in the front. So it's Yamaha, Suzuki, Honda. Top 3 Japanese brands represented here at the Yamaha Battle of the Streets for 2008. There is Craig Sheriff's out of Fielding on the Haldane Suzuki. Up the inside of Gareth Jones, but I don't think he can make the pass stick. And this is number 75. This is David Lees, and he is buried in the hay bales, and that's brought out the yellow flags. As we go back to the racing, heading into the Suzuki S-Bend once again. Still Jones in the front. Sheriff stipes up the inside and makes the pass, and he made it look easy. Now I wonder if Gareth Jones was a little bit confused with the yellow flags. We're back on board here with Hayden Fitzgerald. The flag's still flying. Into the Pirelli hairpin they come. You'll have a look at the gauge on the side of the picture. That is a G-force meter as you're on board with the Castrol Honda 1000 Hayden Fitzgerald at the controls, sitting in third place at the moment, flashing past the shop windows at over 270 kilometres an hour. Then it's down through the gearbox and hard on the braking for the Father's Tavern turn, up through the Westpac corner now, down the hill, and then they're into the S-turns. Doesn't take very long to do a lap here at Paeroa, and it is excitement plus. Oh, we got a problem there, and well, number 101 was involved, and that was Neil Martin, and I think that's Nick Odermatt on the MV Augusta, and he's just ridden into the side of him and smashed the fairing off the bike. So once again, we're under a yellow condition here. You see bits of the fairing all over the racetrack. There is a disgusted Nick Odermatt. He's fine. Didn't come off the machine, but now the red flags come out and the race has been stopped. So a little bit of drama here in the Formula Paeroa Race 1. As you're on board here with Hayden Fitzgerald as he comes down to a halt at the start. We get set to do it all again. Watch on the left-hand side of the picture. That is Craig Sheriff. Let's hope he gets a better start this time. You're riding with Fitzgerald, and away goes number 20, Jamie Marr. He's got a fantastic start. So too one of the Brian Bernard Yamahas. And that is Damien Cudlin again out on the front. Sheriff moves up into second. Number 20, Jimmy Marr, goes up into third. Right in behind him is Hayden Fitzgerald. You've got the best seat in the house as they come up over the hill and head down into the Suzuki S's once again. You're riding with a man in fourth place. There he is, Hayden Fitzgerald. Right in behind him, Jimmy Mayer. So he's moved up into third now. Then it's Damien Cudlin on the second of the Bernard Yamahas. He's back in fourth. But the race leader is the man that was leading when they red flagged the first go, and that is Gareth Jones. 7th last year in the Australian Supersport Championship. Rode some of the Australian Superbike rounds as well. First time, as I told you, that he's seen the circuit. Came out here, and Brian Bernard Racing's got a 2-seater R1 Yamaha. And he did a couple of laps on the back with Brian Bernard and that. Then he followed Brian on the 2-seater just to get the hang of the circuit. Never been here before. This man's been here many, many times, and he's been dominant. Oh, and there's a problem there for Jones. He just overshoots the Westpac corner. So Craig Sheriff goes into the front now. There he is on the 1000cc Superbike. This is the rest of the field streaming through there. There is Jason Veach once again sitting in about 14th or 15th place. Formula Paeroa open to the top runners here. You've got 1000cc machines, you've got some of the super motard bikes, you've got some of the Bears racing equipment, you've got Aprilia's out there, but it's the Japanese brands out at the front, and there's none faster at the moment than bike number 56, and that is Craig Sheriff's. Look how hard he brakes as he comes into the Father's Tavern turn once again. Through the Westpac corner, up over the top of the hill he comes now. It's down through the gearbox and hard on the brakes once more as Gareth Jones just picks up a little bit of ground as they go through the Suzuki S turns now. Down the Dunlop straight, this is where all the bumps are. Have a look at the way the bikes get unsettled. Over the first one, not too much problem. Over the second one, the one that causes a bit of damage because that sets them up all wrong for the Woolworths turn, and then they've got to get their act together as they go around the Pirelli hairpin. Down the Yamaha front straight they come, flashing past the shop windows as fast as you like. This big crowd glued to the edges of the circuit. It's one of the highlights, if you like, of street racing. You can get as close as you like. That's what Gareth Jones is trying to do at the moment with Craig Sheriff. That's the battle for first and second. Here is the third place man, and this is Hayden Fitzgerald out of the Taranaki. You're back on board with him. Remember these pictures coming from a camera mounted on his helmet. And listen to the engine on the big Honda 1000, the Castrol Honda. Hayden working his way left and then right through the Suzuki S-bends and now down the Dunlop straight. You're riding with him here. Watch the bike get unsettled on the first of the bumps. We go back to the front of the field through the Pirelli hairpin. It's still Gareth Jones in the front. 56 Sheriff back in second place. So there's been a change while we've been on board with Hayden Fitzgerald. 1 lap to go in the first race of Formula Paeroa, and number G, Gareth Jones from Australia. Amazing to think that he's never seen the circuit before. He did the same thing at Wanganui just before the New Year break, and he is certainly worrying them in the New Zealand Superbike Championship as well. 56 Sheriff gets a little bit closer this time round. Is he going to have a last lunge down the Dunlop straight this time round? Got some lap traffic in the way. Hopefully they won't play too much of a part in this. They don't. Jones works it through the Woolworths turn and down into the hairpin. 77, well, all he's got to do really is hold his line. Just get out of the way of the faster moving bikes. That's exactly what he does. So well done to Michael Alsop-Smith. There is Gareth Jones. The checkered flag flies for Chris Costello, and he wins his first Superbike race on New Zealand soil. Second place will be Craig Sheriff, and in third it's another Aussie, Damien Cudlin.
First win on a superbike, first win in New Zealand. I'm so happy with that. I really wanted that win. I needed that win, and the team has done everything to get me there. And the Yamaha's just an awesome bike, and the Pirelli combination here, fantastic. Couldn't ask for anything better.
Gareth is just going to get quicker with every lap he does around here. It's his first time here, and to do it on a superbike's pretty impressive, really. So I've been riding around here for quite a long time, so I know where all the bumps and that are. But he's very young and enthusiastic, so he tends to ride pretty hard. But yeah, I think if we can get the bike going, all right, hopefully we can give him a good run for his money.
Plenty more action still to come here at the Yamaha Battle of the Streets.
Revolutionary. Race. Radical. Reward. Rewrite. The right stuff. Redesign. Razor edged. Razor sharp. Revolutionary. Radical. Record breaking. A race winner.
If you want to keep up with all the latest motorcycling action, pick up a copy of